All right, there it is. EURONICS then kicking us off with a elite skin
The elite.
for Sledge, secretly bringing that out as they set up their attacking roster. They are bringing Blackbeard back in. They are bringing just the Hibana, no Thermite. So we'll see where it is how and choose they push it. Because I think they know this is coming. Playing Ducks are kicking things off with an upstairs defense, as Playing Ducks were doing long before Hibana ever existed.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that's the meta for many teams is not go to the basement anymore, especially with Hibana. But as you just mentioned, it's kind of Playing Ducks' first point of contact.
Yeah, they like to play this upstairs. They've done it time and time again. They've practiced it time and time again. But the question is, what do they have up their sleeve for it these days? It is a new world out there in 5.2. So how do they set it up? Well, they have gone into the attic and they are reinforcing the far end of it just as before. They've got a rotate hole with some barbed wire on the other side of it. They are also reinforcing into this this walk-in closet, but with just one out of two walls so far. So we'll see if the other one gets done in a moment or if it is left completely exposed and open for a rotate later on.
Well, I expect them to actually potentially destroy that barbed wire if they decide to throw a C4 or an impact grenade at it. So I think what they might do right now is just leave it be. I don't know if that was a mistake on the side of Playing Ducks or if it's meant to be. But we do see a very nice Valkyrie cam out here on the front of the bus, which is going to spot Panari. Now, whether or not Panari's going to see it, he does see it, so he's going to hop it and pick it off there. Good eye by Panari. Now, Lems is going to be checking the rest of the cams here.
Yeah, he's got the other side a little bit more safe and inside, so he hasn't gonna...
Now, if we take a look at Smoke, Smoke's actually got a nice hole in the middle of the corridor, looking down towards, I believe that is kitchen hallway,
yeah.
through classroom, peeking right down, so if he comes out of kitchen, he'll be able to get him. This is actually watching the back of Panics, because Panics right now is having a heck of a time inside a kitchen. You can see Shutex's incendiary arrow preventing him from moving to the left.
So they know he's in there, he's pinned around one corner. Secretly's coming in with Blackbeard there to support as well. Makes a nice big hole through the wall, and here, as I was talking about earlier on, is the DMR Blackbeard instead of the SR-17. And there it is. Panix tries to run into the walk-in wardrobe to get out of safety, and Shutex will down him and finish him. He was trying to get through that hole and get the revive from Valkyrie, but meanwhile, Snooken has taken enemy down elsewhere as well. So Lackey, the last man left roaming for Playing Ducks, is exposed and alone here in meeting. Secretly's drone is heading slowly in this direction. Meanwhile, upstairs, Meepy has had to move away from that kill hole, can no longer look down through the floor. And LMs is cautiously watching the front end of the corridor.
And now Lackey's kind of pinched off from trying to rotate back. He doesn't have, or he does have C4 if he needed to use it to go up Red Tower and come in through Attic, but he's going to have a tough time trying to go across to the meeting hall where that ladder is. So I think what we will see here is Lackey going upstairs, or rotating down, as it appears to be.
Yeah, he now goes down, can come up into the lobby, and will be able to look down in towards the kitchen corridor a little bit more, maybe cause some more damage to these people that he was tagging through a very nice angle in those sandbags and meeting, but nothing serious. Meanwhile, Meepy still holding firm on the backstairs. Renewals is looking to come on up. Meepy gets down by a grenade from below. LMs cannot get over there to help him out at all, so he is down and out. Lackey now looking out in towards meeting, just misses Secretly dancing across the gap. Shutex still running around in kitchen. Secretly does miss Lackey as he's on his way up the stairs again, but Alems now gets downed as they push up that back staircase. Panari in through the A site with 1 HP left. Lackey realizes there's no rotate hole in there anymore, and he's now stuck out. Renewal sees him come across and does get the tag, but not the frag. Now the plant goes down inside the A site.
That's where you toss the C4 and you're going to get Blackbeard. Oh, but he
Downs
misses!
him. No, it downed him, but that was it. Snooken finishes Lackey off as he pushes through. Even with that down Blackbeard, that was 4 people to find. It was a nice try and attempt from Lackey, but yeah, everyone picked off expertly by ESG. As they just move their way through the map, taking out roamer after roamer, and as soon as they realize, okay, Lackey is still up, he is still roaming, but he is long gone and out of the picture, let's focus on the site, and they picked those guys off one by one as well. They knew exactly where they were, despite taking all their time to focus on the guys downstairs. They knew where to pre-nade, they knew where to take out the floor, and they were ready for each one.
Now, seeing as how it even is -4 degrees Celsius here, we aren't going to see Doc bringing the sweaters. We're not going to see Rook bringing his sweaters. Doc's going to be popping into Oregon now. So, the first time we've actually seen him today. He wasn't chosen by Penta or Playing Ducks before, but here we do have ESG going a little bit of a different operator selection choice.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out for them, how they do it. I mean, It does allow for a slightly aggressive play from Doc, more so than Rook, because he can heal himself, because he's got that extra survivability perhaps. But he could also literally just play upstairs on the site with maybe one or no other players and just be that, all right, you fall back to me when you've taken a bit of damage while roaming and I'll heal you back up and I will defend the site sort of thing. Like, there's a lot of ways to use the heals and a way to use the operator while helping to support the rest of his team. So we'll see how it's done. Meanwhile, Playing Ducks are bringing both the Thermite and Here Banner to the table. Not the most useful on the top floor bomb site, to be completely honest. You can do the same job with both of them and then save the other slot for a more useful, perhaps a more utility-based operator.
Yeah, I would think possibly going with a Buck, again, for that vertical gameplay.
Yeah.
But we actually see a lot of defenders, 3 of them, are going to be inside a kitchen, inside a meeting hall, and possibly the classroom. They're holding from underneath, and that's what we were talking about before, about this is one of the ways to hold that top floor, is to prevent the vertical game from underneath.
Yeah, it's exactly what Playing Ducks tried to do on their defense round, but failed at, and they couldn't pull it off. So now ESG, it's time to give them a masterclass. It's a time to explain how it's meant to be done. Well, Panari is watching into dining, is currently unseen by that drone. Does just get scouted as it comes around the corner, but he's now running away again. That drone is not active. Oh, Lems is planting on the wall.
Will Panari hear it?
He's going to see it, if nothing else. There we go. He knows he can shoot that. That's a free charge. There we go. So, taking that out of the picture. Meanwhile, Renewals is taking down Panics inside the kitchen. Panari's going to try and help him out. Elems does down one, but he trades it straight back, so they're going to revive Renewals now. 2 of them go straight to do it. One comes back. Enemy behind. Panari can't quite get the kill, but it does slow enemy down long enough that they get Renewals up, and enemy cannot get it the double. In towards meeting they go. Shutex is around the back, and he's there to pick off enemy again. This is a great teamwork by these 3 roamers. Shutex being incredibly low, but alive is a big deal because they have a Doc on their team, and if he can get somewhere that is healable,
See,
Shutex
this is basically,
up.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
you
look,
shoot through the
making
floor,
a hole
get a
through the
little bit of
floor.
hole.
Yeah.
And
I'd almost say take a revolver here, so that you can straight up make the hole with the caliber-based destruction far easier. There we go, Shutex back up to full health. The difference between that 1 HP and nothing has allowed him to get healed back up to 90. Meepy and Lackey now as a twosome out on the A windows with 4 people to find. This is a tough attack when you're 5v5. It's even tougher when you're 4v2. And they have to keep their eyes on the inside of the site. Spraying through the mattress now. Lackey hoping to get lucky with one quick shot. Meepy is just dancing back and forth, and Lackey will come on inside. Snooken peeks the one angle, takes Meepy down, but Lackey takes secretly out, so it's 3v1. Snooken now rotated around into the corner. Lackey just pinned back after taking another tag. Shutex now at the top of the staircase with his silenced 417 in hand, 16 in hand. But Renewals will sneak up the corridor, shut Lackey down, and get another round in the bag for ESG. That is how you hold the downstairs. The beautiful overlapping play from Panari and Renewals on that Valkyrie Bandit combo, and then once they needed it, Shutex was there in the perfect timing as well to help out a bit more.
I think I'm gonna have to go back on my word when I said that Playing Ducks should choose this map when ESG lost 5-0 on it.
Yeah, I also
very strong showing.
am intrigued and would love to talk a little bit more about the silencer on Jaeger's weapon. More players are starting to do this. There is some thought behind it, but I have yet to be explained it. Or
I think, like, again, I don't quite understand the pick of the silencer. To me, I guess the biggest pick would be, or the biggest reasoning behind it was, Jaeger is typically, if you have a Jaeger on your team, he's mainly the lurker. He's mainly the roamer. So if you can get that quiet kill on him, get a quiet kill on one person, you could be able to rotate around or at least still hold a different angle or a very similar angle from a different location without being detected. But at the same time, a lot of players that play Jaeger don't just do a 2 or 3 burst fire. They'll spray 10 shots or whatnot. So that's where I'm thinking that the compensator would come into play. The compensator, which is mainly used to help reduce the maximum recoil on a gun. But again, the silencer is kind of something different that, like you said, it's been coming into the meta recently for a bunch of Jaeger players, a bunch of teams. I still am not quite grasping the full concept of it.
so, Snooken shoots open the front door to take out the camera and then switches back to his drone to check a little bit beyond what's in there. As they are also cautious and ready for this very active mobile Playing Ducks defense. They are down in the basement as far as the bombs go, but Panix is up here at the top of the stairs in the kids' bedroom. Lackey has a similar angle to the top of the staircase and does get droned with a very nice hole. Meepy, though, stays downstairs with Alems doing the last couple of seconds of setup while they're leaving their enemy Jaeger up top as well.
Now, is the entire wall downstairs by laundry opened or available for being open?
It is shotgunned open as secretly takes out Panix. Blackbeard is inside. They know Lackey's in there too.
Pre-fire through the wall.
Straight through the wall takes him out. An enemy is the last roamer left alive. EURONICS once again just masterclassing how to take these guys down. Ash at the top of the staircase doesn't quite come far enough around the corner. Enemy now is about to see her and isn't quite ready there in time. And she will peek straight back in to finish him off. Panari, that G36, picks up the kill with ease and now will breach the floor for Blackbeard to look down through it. Meepy has a whole wall opened up and Alems is just checking the cameras. 2v5 now. Trapdoor is open. Alems is trying to play it very aggressively. He does see the top of Ash's head, but she can see him too, and that's Panari picking up another one. Meepy in a 1v5. I mean, we saw big things from him in the finals. Sorry, no, in the semi-finals to get them there. A 2v5 Meepy pulled off with the help of his team. But this is a bigger task. He's looking at the drop. He's ready for them to come on down, but they're coming down the stairs. He's smoking around behind them.
I mean, there's not too much that Meepy can do here other than just toss out gas grenades and hopefully, with some blessing, able to get some kills. But again, it's going to be very tough. And if he does get this clutch, it's going to show some massive power on his end, but also the lack of execution ability for ESG. But
and that was never going to be the case.
Yes.
So 1v5, he does fall. They don't take a single casualty. EURONICS take the round and go up 3 rounds to nothing. Playing Ducks calling for a rehost or a black map. Never heard of such a thing, but I guess it's a lighting bug of some sort.
Never heard of a grayscale map option for this game.
They are before the 15 seconds of this round, so they're within their rights to back out and rehost this specific one. So we will get that underway. We're going to run to a short 3, 4, maybe 5, whatever. We'll just run to a short break as long as it takes for us to rehost this, get the players back in the lobby, get it going again. The score will stick. It is 3 rounds to nothing in favor of EURONICS, and well, they are looking very comfortable on this map.
They very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
I almost might say that, hey, their 0-5 was, they knew they'd win the other 2 and hoped to get this map chosen to get into the finals. So
perhaps so, yeah, perhaps so.
Oh,
so let's go back, and we'll be back in just a moment's time with the continuation of this game. back in we go, ladies and gentlemen. Score stands 3 rounds to nothing. 3 rounds to nothing in favor of EURONICS, as they're now onto defense again. They've given us a masterclass in roaming and in dealing with roamers up until this point. It is now time to see if Playing Ducks learned anything from
What do you think? What do you think Playing Ducks' in-game leader was saying during that break? What do you think were the words that he was telling his team to bring them back up?
It was more of a take it 1 round at a time, forget that, like, don't worry about those rounds, it didn't happen sort of thing, start it 0-0, play this as if it was any other game sort of thing. It's all you can do, really, is try and reset everyone.
Yep.
And go in quiet.
So downstairs is where we will go once again. Or not once again, this is the first time. Seeing as how ESG won the top floor when they held it. What it looks like we're going to see is actually secretly opening up the attic from Red Tower, making it across all the way to the top of the main building. So what I see here is basically we're going to see roamers, we're going to see lurking, we're going to see them staying inside a meeting hall, up on top by the bedrooms. This is something, like we said, is not necessarily unknown or unheard of from ESG. They love to roam, they love to play aggressive, and that's what I expect to see from the roamers.
So, as ESG set up for their basement, they leave renewals upstairs with these very special outdoorsy cameras. Pernari up here too, similar setup with this mute that we did see Playing Ducks try. They put a mute on the top floor as well, using the jammers to stop the drones getting up there and keep them hidden a little bit, but then also got killed straight off very quickly. So we'll see whether or not that works for him, as they now have to continue piling people into that A window. Pernari peeks out aggressively, takes a little bit more damage than he deals from it, and then gets grenaded down. Jutex has now moved on up here and is getting banged through the wall a little bit himself, as they are trying to come in and finish down that last down Pernari.
So yeah, I think Mute, instead of trying to come across, actually, no, that was Ash coming up the stairs, picked him off.
Yep, Ash came up the staircase, picked him up and finished him down. They know Shutex is around, but they can't be 100% sure where. They haven't droned him. Now they have 100%. He's going to head towards the staircase, gets a good kill onto enemy. He's still banging through the wall. Thermite's going to push into the doorway, and while he is mid-sprint, they will take him out. It's a bit better, but still taking a lot of time. 2 roamers down, though. Playing Ducks are looking good after this short break. Meanwhile, Renewals was sort of upstairs. He is in the back tower, with this nice angle across the top of the attic to anything that might come their way. But first, it's going to be a drone. Yeah,
Meepy's going to be droning it out, calls him down hall. You see the gunshots firing through. Newell's, however, is not going to be overtaken by it. He looked like he was going to play it a little bit safer, but now he is going to rotate all the way downstairs to regroup with Snook and Smoke. But I think what we're seeing here is a very good push from the attackers. They took over top floor, got rid of 2 out of the 4 roamers, or 2 out of the 3 roamers. Now secretly he's going to be holding off that push from main stairwell, which is where the attackers are going. Drop hatch just got opened up, and so now Snookin is going to take advantage of that opening inside of attic. However, Robert Newells is going to be a little bit of a distraction going up against Thatcher inside of meeting hall. Snookin's going to be dropping here in just a moment to try to get that shot.
Calling out the ready, the kill comes out, he does drop get 1, looks for the second, does get him downed, I believe.
Got the kill, so now it's a 2-on-1,
yeah,
or 3-1.
So traded it. 2-on-1 because 1 is down, so
Correct.
They do have to get the revive. There it is, now it's a 3-on-1, 28 seconds to go. 21 seconds in just a moment. And secretly now, with those 21 seconds to go, has to hold on, looks towards the bottom of the drop. Capital bots coming on through. They're not quite going to drop down the stairs yet. He holds the shotgun in case they come close, but they do come down the stairs. Lackey sees him from a distance. EURONICS finally fall 1. Playing Ducks are on the board, 3 rounds to 1 now.
See, I would have guessed that it was a Frost pulling out the shotgun there with that Super 90 range, but no, not. That was going to be Smoke, and unfortunately the shotgun was not the range that it needed to be.
Yeah, he thought the smoke would keep him covered, and he said, you know what, if they do come through the smoke, I'm going to want my shotgun in my hands. If they don't come through the smoke, well, I'm safe, because it's smoke, and they can't... Oh, no, wait, they sell me, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So, Playing Ducks back towards the top floor. They choose to go now. And, well, EURONICS did destroy their downstairs defense of this site not so long ago, so let's see if they've learned anything from it, if they can hold it any better this time.
So this is actually the opposite wall that was reinforced last time and opened up. It looks like they're changing it up just a little bit, not too much though. And I think what we should see, or what we might see, is either both walls or 0 walls reinforced into the little closet by master bedroom. Because last time they didn't open it up. They reinforced one wall but didn't open it up all the way, and they couldn't rotate back when they needed.
Yeah. So it's now time for them to continue their preparations and their readying.
5 seconds left.
Leaving their players upstairs. Downstairs, enemy is once again around. Panics is dropping some barbed wire in the various doorways and prepping a couple of other walls to stop any breaches or any funky shenanigans from Hibana. As it is, they are not bringing a thermite this time over. It was Playing Ducks that did it last time and then just tried to thermite charge a solid barricaded wall. Needless to say, was shot. Benari once again using the G36, which is an interesting idea, but it worked out very well for him the last couple of occasions. So let's see if they can do the same thing again, as meanwhile the drones are running around inside and finding and pinning Panics down inside the kitchen.
Yeah, so I mean, right now you've got enemy and Panics trying to hold showers and the kitchen, and also in the meantime also trying to hold dining. But Renewals is pushing up. You've got Secretly that just hopped into White Tower. You have outside by the school bus, who will most likely be pushing in shortly. I believe that is Hibana. And then you also have that is Capital trying to push in from White Tower. He's going to be droning. Now it looks like enemy is going to be picking up Panari as Renewals gets that trade down onto him. But that's Ash going down for Jaeger. I think that might be a worthy kill.
Renewals looking for the next one. Does start to spray through the wall. It's actually very close to Meepy, but he's just a little too high with his aim. Shutex will finish off Lackey though. Yeah, did tag his feet up with one shot, but the DMR is just enough. Meepy fell back to safety. Playing Ducks though down to just the 3 players, one of whom is on this floor and is just about pinned in by this fire. Another one comes out. Shutex keeping him pinned in, but he does turn the wrong way at the wrong time and secretly gets around behind him to shut him out. Now they've got control of the floor below and they've got grenades to play with. Meepy is starting to make some holes in the floor to try and catch anyone that might be trying to rotate through and get him from underneath. But as it is, he's actually stuck in this master bedroom right now.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the shotgun, but that's going to give away his position. So coming up the back stairs, looks like it's going to be Blackbeard, but the gas grenade is going to push that off just a little bit. There's still 60 seconds, though, and you have Shutex and Secretly trying to play the vertical game underneath to pick up LMs.
Lems just wanted to look through that hole, and as he went onto his drone, secretly ran through underneath it. Shots are coming out. He keeps looking away from that hole just before secretly actually runs into his crosshairs. That drone, however, will see him as Renewals has taken down Meepy. Spoken is right outside this window now. Lems comes right up into the corner. Does get the diffuser down with that kill, but now he's pinned in, and Shutex is easily going to clean that up for a 4th round to ESG.
Yeah, so that's a map point. It's 4-1. ESG, I'm assuming, looks very different now than they did against G-Bots on this map. They are seeming to be very strong, very aware of how to play against Playing Ducks. And I mean, the scoreboard's showing it. It's 4-1. So it is match point. This is map number 1 on this best of 3 between these two teams. This is the winner's bracket. The winner of this series will go into the finals, and the loser will be going up against the winner between G-Bots and Penta, which is currently playing off stream. Or no, it's currently playing on
Milos the Medic.
Milos the Medic.
So,
Attackers need to locate
match point in favor of EURONICS as they go to defend this upper floor themselves. Now, last time around they had Panari, Renewals, and Shutex downstairs to a very, very powerful threesome. Let's see if they can do the same thing again, or if Playing Ducks have figured out how to shut it down and out. Playing Ducks this time still bringing both the Thermite and the Hibana together. See if they throw a Thermite charge away as easily that time.
Yeah, and so the wall that Shutex is reinforcing right now facing Armory is the wall that I was mentioning earlier when we were talking about this map, about Hibana coming in and throwing out one of her charges, one of those 6 pellets at head level, and the attackers destroying 5 out of the 6, and only 1 pellet being opening up portion of that wall. And while there is no Blackbeard, it's still something that could be used. It gives a little bit more cover than having 6 pellets open up an entire rectangle. But seeing as how the defenders are going to be downstairs, I foresee that not necessarily happening, because they're not going to get an easy path up there.
No, it's going to take a lot. They are bringing him from a slightly different direction. If you look here, you see the drones and the Ash are coming over from the garage side of things and coming over from the street spawn. So they are making their way in and looking to push in from this side of the map and try and take ESG by surprise from here. But we'll see this time over how ESG react to it. Shutex is already in the meeting room. Panari has fallen back towards the classroom. Renewals is still focused on the other end for a little bit. But
we do have Thermite, who did manage to get his way up inside of Armory, so it looks like he might be opening up the wall. If not, he's just going to drone it out and potentially push into the master bedroom, which is then where he'll open up the closet wall.
Yeah, holding firm. Thermite, as you mentioned, is up and he's making the hole in the corridor first. Surprisingly doing that with the Thermite, actually. Normally these days, that's where you see the Hibana used, especially when you've got both, because as you mentioned before, shooting out some of those charges, making the hole a little bit smaller, gives them a safer peek through that. But doing the whole wall instead.
Yeah, we still do, I believe, have Bandit, I want to say it might be Jaeger, all the way downstairs in class. That's Bandit in classroom, looking to rotate around up the main stairs. Now, this is that closet while we were talking about. Lens is going to get open.
Too.
But Panari has come around for the flank. He manages to get inside of the Armory, and Thermite is not going to know this. He comes out, he's going to be looking to the left. But
it's also the case that he let that Thermite charge go through without just C4ing the floor from classroom. He could have taken that Thermite out before the charge even went through. Shutex has taken a bit of damage here already. And Renewals is now pinned within meeting room a little bit. He's cautious of what may be waiting for him around corners. Panari is still upstairs. Lackey is there on the window. Very close by. Meepy, I think, is actually inside the A site, hidden by the hollow scope here of Panari.
Now, Alems does have Diffuser. He's the one that opened up the laundry, or the closet wall. He wants to push in. Looks like a smoke grenade might go out. There it is. That smoke grenade is going to stop the kids' room push necessarily. And secretly is then going to pre-fire in towards the middle dorms. But you can see LM's just droning out. He wants to get in and get the plant down. He prones, looks towards the back stairwell. Snookin's going to pick one up as secretly it goes down by Meepy, though. Wants to go for the
teasing the plant. He's going to go for it now. Forces the man to come through the fire, and he does just about kill him with the help of Meepy. He has, however, very low himself. Panari comes up behind and takes out Panics. Enemy shows himself as he kills off Renewals. The plant is going to go through. Panari is the last man standing, and he does stop the plant. 7 seconds on the clock. What he's got to do is stay alive. They come around the corner. He picks off one. It's Meepy. He's trying to dance away from enemy a little bit longer, and he goes for the kill instead of the plant, meaning that is GG. That is map 1 for EURONICS. And you talked about Panari's timing and his push from behind and being allowed to get there, being a game changer, and it straight up won the map.
I mean, what you saw there was Panari was inside a kitchen very early on in the round. Very early on in that round. He was in kitchen, rotated over to classroom, while Ash was still outside of garage, trying to hold an angle into meeting hall. He snuck around, got it out of sight from the camera, stayed inside the classroom until Thermite had opened up the armory wall. And then Thermite moved on over into closet, and this whole time you had Bandit come up from behind. And I mean, patience is key, especially in that kind of round where it came down to the last seconds, and he got the kill. He got the necessary kill. Luckily, he was able to get the second kill. I believe that was onto Thatcher or Capital, right outside of the master bedroom door, and then played time to get the win. So, I mean, great job by EURONICS. I mean, you can see that exactly what was needed. That rotation right there by LMs was very nice. And then coming back over here, you had this kill. Now, Panari, there's the flank that was needed, and he got it.
Yeah, so let's just get these players back in the lobby, ready for map number 2, as I already talked about, the one that I'm super excited for, Cafe Dostoyevsky.
Yes, this is actually going to be the first time, I think,
in a long time, if nothing else.
Yes. I mean,
so,
so we saw actually a few maps, at least I saw a few maps during the qualifiers, casting the Xbox,
yeah,
where we saw a cafe, and what happened was basically top 4 was chosen, not the train room, which was what I thought would be chosen. Top 4 was the first bomb site chosen. And what we saw was...
I think that'll be the same here, to be fair.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see that is top 4 bomb site. And from there, what we're also going to see is basically some I want to say 2 defenders on second floor, 1 inside a reading room, 1 inside of the train or mining room. And the other 3, you're probably going to have 2 inside of piano or the piano corridor towards White Stairs. And you're going to have 1 in bar. I think that's the setup that we might see, at least for the beginning. And... I don't necessarily see too much aggression happening from the attackers. I think what we're going to see is a very methodical push from the attackers, getting their drones out, trying to push in from piano, maybe drop in the last 30 seconds or so from the skylight. But I don't think we're going to see an all-out bomb rush. I don't think we're going to see necessarily too much spawn peeking. I know one of the things that typically has happened in the past has been, okay, get a C4, open garage, push out towards the park alley spawn. I don't necessarily think we're going to see that.
So, as you can see there on the screens, G-Bots beat Penta 5-1 on Chalet, their first map. Remember, the winner of that game between G-Bots and Penta will be playing the loser of this game, and the winner of this game will head straight through to the grand final. So, that result is also very, very important to these two squads. Going now into Cafe, though, it is Playing Ducks on attack first. ESG kicking us off on defense and actually taking us both by surprise. They are going to go for that middle four, that Fireplace Hall mining room first bomb site, instead of going straight to the top floor.
Now again, what we're seeing a Thatcher, or sorry, a Thermite and Hibana again.
Protect your bombs from
I'm curious why there's so much of the duo combo, because we really haven't seen a role or an opportunity for both of these operators to shine. Now maybe it's a safety net saying, okay, if one gets killed early on, we still can open up what we need to. That's one choice, but I don't expect pro teams to necessarily play it safe in that regards. They need to be confident in their operators and in their gunfights and in their strategies. So choosing both just for safety, I'm not sure is the reason behind it all.
10 seconds insertion.
I like that mute jammer directly under the drop, so that any drones that are thrown in and land straight down will go straight on through and die.
Yeah, I mean, in order to get that jammer, you're going to have to overextend yourself from an attack standpoint, in which case you'll most likely be picked off by someone looking.
So, secretly, Real still be pretty mobile as this defender, and Newell's doing the same thing. Running around upstairs like we saw before with Panari, his little roaming combo duo man friend thing up there with him. And well, continuing now to take his way up first.
So I mean, we are here underway in the first round of attack, and what we're seeing is basically a push from the attackers being that upstairs push. We see, I believe that is Ash, who is outside of the white stairs window, possibly going all the way to the roof. Hibana's on the vents outside of the mining room.
Located a bomb.
But looks like we're going to see a push down top of red. And this is just so they can take over control of that piano. This is going to be their forte. But again, that wall facing piano is going to be reinforced. So they're going to need either Hibana to open it up, or they're going to have to push in through Cigar Lounge. And you can already see them getting ready to push in.
They do start to clean out the top of this red dropper, and cautious of anyone that might be coming out underneath. But ready for him. Pete repels down to this west wall and will start to pressure the piano room windows. So if they do drop and anyone wants to push out of here or start to pressure onto his team from within here, they are going to be ready for it. As it is, though, there is nobody in that room. Renewals is over by Blueprints, and Panari is sitting close by the white stairs. The piano is very much open for Playing Ducks to just take, but they're being very slow about it.
Yeah, Lems has already droned it out and called it clear, so they should just be pushing down in. But you can already see it looks as though the one wall out by Train from mining is going to get opened up. Weird how the Hibana charge right there is going off on the side of the window.
Oh, what a shot, Lackey. Secretly peeks out and puts 1 pixel through that gap and onto the side of his head. And down he goes. Lackey makes a couple of extra holes into this other corridor and gives himself a sightline through. He's also blown this wall on the right-hand side a little bit, which means Snooker now is going to be cautious about it. Smoke grenade comes over and locks the window up, but with 30 seconds to go, it just gives Lackey a chance to drop into the red corridor. Enemy still on the roof looking up top. Enemy above with smoke grenades going down in through the trapdoor. We're going to come down to the last couple of seconds. Panari still on white stairs. Snooken inside the train room is using up all of his smoke grenades. Cautious of the window because Lackey is out there. Cautious of the drop because he knows they're above. He's just trying to keep them pinned. Down the red stairs comes Panics and Enemy. Lackey is right up against the wall, comes up close, they're down 2. Shootex grabs the kills with the Newells and Snooken. Elems is the only one for the defense, but the diffuser is down and Elems will be finished off. Upstairs, there's still one player, and inside the snipe, Snooken's SMG-11 is going to win that fight close up over and over again. Panics will fall, and down in the last final seconds, ESG hold.
Very good attempt. I mean, like you said, it came down to the last final seconds. There were still 30 seconds left, and it was a 5-on-4, and not too much engagement had gone on. It seemed like it was just a push at the very last moment. I think that Hibana rushed in. She got in safe and sound, but then rushed into Train instead of trying to vault on through the wall or just turn the corner slowly to get that kill onto Smoke, and it cost her life. She ran in right after another one of her teammates got injured and downed. So it was just easy pickings from there.
So looking at this setup here from EURONICS shows me what they feel about this map already. They see this map as a gunfight heavy map. You take a Blackbeard, he's great at winning gunfights because of course he can still block a bullet or two to the head.
Yep.
Then you bring in the Habana, the Ash, and a Twitch, who all have incredible main weapons.
Yep. I mean, right there, this is kind of what we were talking about earlier when I said that some teams that are very confident in their gunplay ability, the ability to win their gunfights, are going to go with operators that their operator abilities might not be as cohesive as others, but that's okay because when they do get into gunfights, they're confident they're going to win them. And this is one of those setups that sends off that alert to me that says, hey, look, these guys aren't necessarily working or aren't trying to be cohesive with their operator abilities, but more so with their strategies of trying to catch and receive flankers, catch and receive the push that they're going for.
So, Annex creates a nice hole at the top of these brown stairs in towards Christmas from this trapdoor inside Freezer. Downstairs, they've left enemy here in reading, hiding and sneaking around the reading room, waiting for anything to come his way. As it is, it's going to be fast and hard when EURONICS choose to go with it though, because as we mentioned, they have three speed operators and Twitch, who, while being a 2-speed, is the fastest of 2 speeds. Ready to explode their way inside the site.
So what we're going to see here is Shutex opening up that drop hatch, letting Snookin head on down with a drone. But with top floor bomb site, there's not too much of a push that you have to do. Once you're downstairs, or once you're down on the stairwell, or you're in piano, you've got one wall to open up and you're right by the bomb site. So this map is not very horizontal. It's more vertical in the sense that there's 3 to 4 rooms per floor, not 7 to 10 like there are on some other maps. So what we're seeing Snookin here is opening up just some of the foot level entry points so that he's able to see if someone's behind the mini bar or possibly look on over towards Lackey. But this allows them to crawl in if needed while also clearing out so that there can't be an easy push from the defender.
Lackey burned out of that corner, does sprint away because it was only one firebolt. Shutex can't land the one bullet required to down him on his way across as well. Camera up in the corner, gets spotted and killed off. He sprays into the back of the freezer and tags a few people. Panari will be the one to pick up the first kill before secretly grabs the second from underneath as well, taking out that roaming Jaeger. EURONICS now continue to drone a little bit more. They've still got 1:10. That's plenty of time to play with. Now they've grabbed these 2 kills. You see there the peek that Jaeger tried to do and Panari allowed the kill down towards that back door. Nipi over Blueprints is ready for the push through White Corridor because they've got control of piano and it's going to come that way. Lackey inside the freezer, and I was going to show you where LM's was, but Renewals takes his head off first. He was down there on, I believe.
Now Panari dropped in from the skylight. Looks like there's smoke going to be last one alive, and Shutex playing the Capital able to get him down.
It's beautiful. They found those 2 kills, they took them out, and rather than panicking and rushing in, it's like 5, that's right, stop. Take stock, find out where these last guys are, and then as a group, we'll all push for them and trade if we lose anyone. They don't even have to lose anyone. Beautiful, beautiful attack from EURONICS to go 2-0 up.
So, I mean, EURONICS, again, having a very strong start, just like they did on Oregon. They were up 3-0 at the start of Oregon. And I want to say this is going in favor of ESG. This is one of the maps that we haven't seen many teams on, if at all, because it hasn't been in the rotation for the Pro League. But seeing as how we haven't seen them, I'm sure other teams have not been practicing on this map as much as a lot of teams. And therefore, we are bound to see some potential upsets or some just potential different strategies.
So, as they now move upstairs, how are they going to hold it? Well, a lot of similar looking reinforcements to begin with. So where do they place their plates? Where do they begin to put them? Snookin creating some holes into the back of the freezer, gives him a good sight line across towards the B site from the blue blueprints. Panari is in the back of the piano room in the moment, where Valkyrie was earlier. It's very exposed to firebolts, as we saw, but if you can't land the shot as they run away, then they can get out. Shutex heads on downstairs, and he'll be joined down there by Renewals and Secretly. Secretly has this angle out towards the front spawn up on the top desks. But nobody spawns that way, so he heads back to somewhere a bit safer. Renewals has gone upstairs in towards Train, and Shutex is now heading towards a similar spot up to Brown's best.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, of how when the bomb site is top floor, you're probably going to see 2 people downstairs, or 2 people on the second floor. Now, Shutex is all the way in the basement. I think what he's doing is just trying to put a little bit more pressure down here, but he's got the ability to rotate up should he get pinched. Snookin, however, is going to pick up that first kill onto Panics, and that's Capital going down, who typically does play a very important role, especially in the top floor when you need to get off some of the white stairs or the red stairs.
True that. So let's see where they put him. Nils is checking all of his cameras. They have lost that Capital, as you mentioned. They do still have the Hibana and the Ash, which are great fighters. But then they've got Thatcher and Sledge, who are usable. Tend to be a little bit slower and stockier. And speed is what Playing Ducks have really been lacking in these last couple of rounds. They've been slow to their pushes. They've been slow to their attacks.
There it is. I was just about to say, last round, the same thing happened where C4 came up from underneath. And now this time, Renewals gets it by being underneath. And he's also going to pick off Lackey. So very good job here by ESG. Very important C4. Very important opening in the floor. Now it's all up here to Meepy, who's going to get fired off by Panari with the double kill.
I was going to say, the slow static play is punished by that. By C4s through floor. By EURONICS, who as soon as they know where you are, once they're confident with where you are, they will not just sit around and wait for you to come to them. And Playing Ducks have run themselves down to the wire in the last couple of seconds by staying outside and not letting Playing Ducks do that. But when you're trying to be that static, slow play inside and they know where you are, EURONICS are going to go and hunt you. And that's exactly what they just did with that C4 through the floor.
Yeah, and last round when it was Playing Ducks that was on defense, so 2 rounds ago, when Playing Ducks was on defense, they had pre-planted a C4 underneath of there and just blew it too late. ESG had already moved into Piano and taken it over. But the same concept applies. Is there was a C4 right in that area because they know, hey, they're opening up that wall, they're going to push in. It was just a matter of they had a Valkyrie doing the C4 live with good intel, good information, and able to get the kill.
So, 3-0 up. EURONICS playing this map beautifully as they stand once again, going this very aggressive gunfighting lineup. Playing Ducks choosing the downstairs pairing of sites. They are bringing a castle to the table this time around to take out those long-range gunfights and make that less available to ESG. But ESG have shown that they don't actually mind that. They'll happily just go upstairs and shoot you down through the floor, or drop through a trapdoor and take you out instead.
To me, it's a little odd that they would castle off the the wall in between Train and Mining, because how else are you going to rotate? I guess you do have the hole into Train close to the display case, but it's almost like when you castle out a lurker and he needs to get back on site. You're taking away that ability to get onto that site should the attackers take a hold onto it.
I think they know that if the attackers take a hold onto the site, they're more or less game over. They need to win this with their lurkers. If they don't get anything with their lurkers, if they don't put their last few site members in an advantageous position, it's already done. That's this site.
Yep. So here we have Piano's going to be trying to take it over here by the attackers. Panari's going to go back up top, as well as Snookin and Shutex. Snookin's going to be the drone for his team once again, droning out top floor, droning out the top of red, spots that the wall is electrified, so he tells Hibana, he actually tells himself, don't open up the wall just yet. We're going to have to get a Thatcher in there or get a Twitch, or someone has to get on the window to destroy it. It looks like they do. Spotted the Valkyrie cam, already called that out by the Christmas tree. And now Panics is also going to get called out right in the entry point from Piano of White Stairs.
So once they got ideas of him over there, they will make that prone hole into the back of the Piano bar again. Means he can secretly get Shutex on in, or at the very least send him to the doorway as a distraction. In, through, and across towards Piano he comes. Looks over towards A, does firebolt it. He's not actually there anymore, but the drone will now confirm that. Panics are out on the other side of the door, sprays through the wall as the drones continue forward to find him again. Inside that room sits Panic. He's now in the freezer thanks to a hole in the wall he made. Shutex unsure about pushing further because the drones need to give him a little bit more info. There he goes. He peeks in towards the freezer.
Now Lackey's still up here. Lackey's still by the bar. He wasn't detected, although he has been shot quite a bit. And I don't know if that was from underneath or if it was mainly from possibly, it looks like an Ash charge came down, destroyed the floor, and destroyed some of the bar stools there. But Lackey's still sitting up here. He will get droned out here by Secretly, as though Renewals didn't spot him. Uses that C4. Thought he was going to hurt himself, but he drops into
did a
laundry.
little bit. But he gets away a bit further in health. He drops right down to the floor below, but he's alive, as you mentioned. That's the important thing. Shutex then looks for him a bit more. Snukin going to control red stairs. Panari comes to join him. They've got a few holes in the floor here, and they're ready to drop through the hatch if needed. There's one kill from LMs onto Shutex, and the smoke charges will stop him from dropping further. Those shots missing from LMs this time around, and he actually gets them a second time onto Panari. Moving forward and more aggressively now, Playing Ducks have actually got themselves a man advantage, but Renewals and Secretly quickly turn that back the other way. On that red corridor, they pick up a kill each. LM's inside the train, Meepy right
Snukin
next to
has
him.
the diffuser. He's going to have to drop through the hatch, though. And that's not going to be the case. He dives to it. Renewals is going to fall in as well, but he'll be taken out by Meepy.
LMs with a good double kill as they drop through the hatch straight into his crosshairs, and Meepy turns up and turns around to help him out as soon as the Blackbeard is known. And ESG, given themselves no options after losing those players in the red corridor, having to go through the drop, shut themselves out of the site and force themselves into LM's crosshairs.
I think what they had to do was go back upstairs because the walls are reinforced. The castle wall was there. They didn't have any more utilities, so they had to go through the drop hatch for the most part. Either that or coming through the window, which again, that's where Meepy was looking for at the start. So it was definitely it was in the favor of ESG, but I think Playing Ducks had their angles down and ultimately won the round.
Oh, it's time for ESG to start and continue their defense. They are still 3-1 up. They can afford to lose that one and be okay with it for a while. The question is, how do they respond to it now?
I mean, this is very similar to how we saw Oregon go. It was up, ESG was up 3-0, then it came back to 3-2, and then we had ESG just take it away.
Yeah, more drones being jammed out on the top floor, allowing their roamers to run around up here relatively freely because these jammers are very hard for them to kill on the attack. The Twitch drones can't do it. If they actually go in to try and shoot them themselves, they're already exposing themselves to bad places, so they won't let the drones get to them. They will keep them hidden, and that is when ESG are the most dangerous.
So we are underway in the attack phase, and Panari is going to be here inside of the cigar, or inside of the piano, top of the white stairs-ish. So what we're going to be seeing here is basically just, again, a hold from two of the defenders, Renewals and Panari, here inside of piano, making sure that they don't have easy access. Now, if there's too much pressure, I believe Panari and Renewals are going to back on down, but not before a fight. They're going to stay up here and try to hold it off as best they can. That's what these lurkers are meant to do. It's not meant to just waste time, but when you have so many people top floor, it's meant to get some kills, get the win.
Yeah.
Now Renewals is going to try to fight this window against the LMs and is able to get him down. That's Thermite falling.
Thermite not the biggest loss when you've got a pair Hibana still, and there's only one hatch that really needs destroying. But every kill counts right now, and as we mentioned, DSG are making the most of every single one. Panic's up on this upper floor now, going to rappel over and join them on the balcony. Claymore's under both of these windows, so nobody can jump out of there. Meepy back on top of this trapdoor. Has a sightline above the reinforcement in towards the bar, but no
He actually might spot Renewals if he looks, but there's Shutex trying to come out from Bakery because that Valcam did call it out that it was nice and easy. But having all four of your players look through the drop hatch at the same time, two of them drone, I mean, get some communication. You gotta start spreading stuff out because having four people drop through a single hatch is one sure way to have a C4 come up through it.
Yes and no. They're having those four players up there and knowing what was underneath with two drones. They knew they were safe from any C4. They knew no one was close. Snukin does pick up one more kill for the defense, and that's the Hibana charge gone. Now they can't get through that trapdoor. Enemy does spread around and go the long way. He does take a bit of damage from Shutex on his way in the door. Can't deal any of his own in return, but they're coming down the red stairs and starting to pressure him from behind. But in doing so, secretly he exposed himself. Now Panics is low. They do finally kill Shutex off, but he downs the Ash in return. Meepy is very, very low. Renewals will secure the kill. Panics is going to straight fall, and now Meepy has to find four people with no health. He has the diffuser, so could straight try plant, but that is going to be a mountain task. Renewals at the top of the bar, sees him already in Cigar, and puts EURONICS one round away from the grand final.
I mean, you said it earlier, ESG was the favorite and possibly still is the favorite to win this and go all the way to Montreal, and they're putting up one heck of a showing for it. It's 4-1 right now. This is match point, and this is series point.
Yep.
So the winner of this will move on to the grand finals, as you had said. The loser of this will play the winner between G-Bots and Penta. And I know G-Bots won the first map. I don't know how the second map is going just yet. But we will get you an update on that as soon as we can.
Yeah, they're still playing out their second map at the moment. It definitely sounds like it's closer, not the 5-1 defeat G-Bots pulled off in the first map. But as it is, we're looking like another potential 5-1 here for EURONICS. They are now attacking the top floor. Playing Ducks are back to defending this very top edge bomb site. There's a lot of open, long angles that could be used here by the ESG lineup, who once again are bringing their heavy gunfighters, using that same 5 everywhere they go. And of course, it's still that DMR Blackbeard, so it makes it even more powerful at range.
And I think you just went over to Renewals' drone. Basically what his drone is doing right there on top of the armored car is just watching for any windows to be opened up to peek for the Christmas spawn. And right now we're not going to see any windows get open, so he's going to call it all clear. But the Christmas spawn is the most popular spawn on this map for many teams. Park Alley's second most important, or second most popular, and then the side street spawn is one that's almost never chosen, just because there's not too much access to go from over there. But what we will see here is Shutex's drone going up red stairs. Calls it all clear for the time being, and Panari's going to go on top of vents here outside of the mining room.
Yeah, he's cautious this window's already open and is having a look in and making sure there's no surprises waiting for them, but it's relatively safe. We can see that there's nothing close by. Snooken safely gets onto the roof. He has the diffuser, so they will have to bring it in soon enough. But he can spend some time droning first. These grenades to take out the trapdoor again, because of course they have no other breaching tools. But when you don't want the grenades for inside the site, you just want to be using the gunplay. You just want to be straight up shooting people in the face. The grenades can be used for such things. So I do think that those feet were spotted there with the drone.
You will
he can see them there. So he's cautious and he wants to go in and drop it, but he needs that hole first. So we need to make that open. Trophy systems take out 2 of them, but the 4 hole will still be enough to prone through. Blackbeard is on the window and already watching for in, but what he didn't do was watch that corner. So now he is unsure as to whether that person's still there, and we can tell you he's not anymore.
Yeah, he's holding the close right angle, expecting him to come out of the cubby there, but he's, like you said, is already rotated over. He's inside a bathroom. You've got Shutex finally pushing on in. Snooken is going to be clearing it out even more with his drone.
So Snooken's drone goes over and now informs him there's no one there. Oh, missed shots into the far side of the site. That's going to be painful for Shutex. That could have been a secured kill. As it is, Lackey steps up and walks away and heals himself back up. Secretly, though, will get a kill for himself onto Panic's downstairs, as Shutex is now starting to pressure in up top into the toilet. These drones have not shown him any more information other than the fact there's one on white stairs. He's not 100% sure of it. They know there's one in the bomb site, that's the one he tagged. And now he's going to edge his way in towards the freezer. There's one very close on his right-hand side. They don't seem to know each other is there. He has now got the information from Snooken's drone. He's going to leap on over, peek straight inside. It's a 1 kill, but then he will fall to the man at A site. Lackey getting that kill. Enemy has picked up the kill onto Secretly elsewhere, and it is still 3v3. But ESG is starting to get control of the upper floor. The players for Playing Ducks are downstairs in the form of Enemy, going to try and flank up behind on red.
Yeah, so I mean, it is 3-3 right now, 25 seconds to go. ESG needs to get this plant down or kill the remaining defenders to take home the win. But Snooken is making his first attempt here. He's going to go for the camera, gets it destroyed, but he's already been spotted. They know he's inside a bar. He does have the diffuser. Going to go for the shots, landed onto Meepy. Meepy, however, was able to pick up Panari. It's now a 1-on-2, 7 seconds to go. One's inside a freezer. He's going to go for the push. Picks off the last one. It's now a 1-on-1 with 2 seconds. He can't get in time. And there's going to be the win for P-Ducks.
Yeah, didn't quite know where the last man was. Couldn't quite find him. Ran out of time for the plant. And it will keep Playing Ducks alive for just a little bit longer. And they've got a 4-2 scoreline now and an attack round of their own to contend with. EURONICS took a long time to get things done there. They droned that corner again. They know there's a man in there. Then they had to wait for 2 Hibana charges to go off before they could push into it. That person had run away. They still wasted lots of time on it. They couldn't get into that site. The kill on Lackey just not working out for that Shutex push through for that Capital kill. Could have changed that round completely. Lackey was one of those last 2 alive. He picked up a kill to trade the man in freeze. Like everything about Lackey being alive was huge for that round. And it's all because Shutex didn't quite land the headshot.
Yeah, I
on
mean,
his first push.
we did see Doc actually got injured or was very low
Yeah,
in
he was
health.
like 1 HP. 'Cause
One
he
HP.
meant to run away.
Yeah, so I mean, if that kill would have gone down, that would have been ESG taking the win. Because that's who killed, I believe that's who killed Lackey when he pushed into Freezer and killed Echo.
10 seconds to go.
But nonetheless, that is P-Dux trying to come back. Again, it's 4-2, just like it was previously on Oregon. So there's still 2 rounds that Playing Ducks needs to have a flawless attempt at in order to take this to overtime, and then they still need to win another 2. They've yet to win 4 rounds against ESG, so this is where that's going to have to go.
So they got to keep this trek on the go. Secretly's put his mute jammers in the same places on the top floor. Again, it doesn't matter what you are defending up there, whether it be bomb sites or just roamers. They are great spots for it to go. Renewals is checking all of his cameras. And Shutex is still running around downstairs. He has jumped out from this spawn a couple of times to surprise people from the bakery when they had those cameras on the walls and whatnot, giving them over that information too. But he is yet to pick up a kill with it.
So Shutex down here inside of the bakery, and I mean, he's not really going for anything really aggressive. He's more so just not wasting time, using time to try to come up with a later flank. Because a lot of the times, especially when the bomb is top floor, you're going to see the attackers come from a top down or come in middle and up. You're not going to see them typically start all the way downstairs in the bakery and the bar area downstairs, the little restaurant downstairs. So this is I think is what Shutex is going for, is for that late flank, that push from underneath, which is what did them in last time.
So, as it is, he's still walking around in the kitchen, but the push is starting to come in through to Piano. They've blown that wall wide open.
Yeah, Panari's been playing in that corner almost every round, and Panix is ready to push on in. You can see him repelling in, going to pull out the crossbow here in just a moment.
His drone hasn't quite seen Panari because Panari's standing right on top of a jammer, so his drone got close but couldn't quite get far enough. He is going to throw another one. It's going to throw it straight into a jammer again. Thermite is right on the inside of the wall. EMP's going to go up. Panari's keeping his head right in.
Oh.
Panari comes around, grabs one. Can he get the second? He does. It's the Thermite gone. Meepy's around the corner. He won't find that one. The Shutex elsewhere taking out enemy. So it is a 4v2 now in favor of ESG. P-Dux have just the 2 players left alive. They do hold the diffuser, but with 50 seconds on the clock, they've got to rethink their entire strategy.
So this could be it for Playing Ducks. They're going to head down to the losers bracket if they lose this one. However, it's not over yet. They had the 2 operators that they need to open up the reinforced walls. They have the Thatcher, the Hibana. Shutex, however, is going to cover down the white stairs and look for that piano room push down towards the A-bomb site. Snookin's looking upstairs to see if someone's going to fall through the vent and the skylight. But Lackey's over here right now looking down right where Shutex was. Wall's going to get opened up. Shutex is going to be there. Lackey sees him and decides to rotate on over. Looks for Secretly, who will be pinched off by Snookin. Looks as though Meepy's going to be the last one alive, and he will be picked off. And there is going to be the winning team here, Secretly able to pick off Meepy.
Yeah. Shutex with the final kill cam because they ended up downing each other, and actually I think he did get the killers on his way down there. Coming up at the last second, but there it is. 5 rounds to 2. EURONICS 5 rounds to 2 on Cafe, 5 rounds to 1 on Oregon, and showing us exactly why they were favored to win this whole thing by a lot of people. Playing Ducks, as you mentioned, now fall down to the losers bracket. They will be our next game. They're going to play against the winner of G-Buts versus Penta. So it could be a rematch, but as it stands, G-Buts are currently the guys that are up 1 map, and they're currently playing map number 2. So we are